Uh. Welcome to Celso Talks podcast. Step into the room, the mic's alive, where thoughts collide and dreams survive. Every word a spark, every voice a flame. Welcome to the show where we play no games. We're diving deep, no shallow streams. Ideas unfolding like vivid dreams. From life's big questions to boogie schemes. Welcome to the conversation. Feel for your imagination. Every word's a celebration. Celso Talk, your new sensation. From cosmic wonders to daily grind, we peel the layers, no truth left behind. Laughs and lessons, we keep it real. A tapestry of thoughts you can touch and feel. Spin the globe, let the topics fly. Stories that lift, answers that pry. We're here to question, to laugh, to cry. No limits, no borders, just reach the sky. Welcome to the conversation. Feel for your imagination. Sensation. Celso Talks, your new sensation.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Celso Talks podcast with your favorite podcaster, Celso Luis Santiago Jr. It is let's see, I always do this. It's Friday, February 6th, 2026. The time it is 3:22 p.m. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How everybody was doing? How everybody's doing? How everybody's doing? I'm doing great. Doing great. A little tired, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I hope everybody's week. Everybody had a great week. I hope. I did. Now we are here in the weekend. It's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Thank God we made it to another week. We made it another week. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, have mercy. All right, let's go straight to the topic. And this topic right here, woo, Lord have mercy. Friends with benefit. Friends with benefit. And I'm going to say, you guys, my listeners, you guys are coming with great topics for me to talk about right here in Celso Talk podcast. Like I'm checking my emails and my messages, of the topics that you guys want me to talk about right here in Celso Talk podcast, because Celso Talk podcast is not only a open-minded podcast, not only a educational podcast, but also is I had in my mind, it's like a multiple conversation podcast, something like that. And every day I always look at the topics that you guys want to talk about. You guys are coming with great topics to talk about, because this one right here, Lord have mercy. Friends with benefits. You guys really want me to talk about this? Okay, I will. Of course. I'll talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about my podcast. Why not? Why not? We'll talk about it. This is a safe zone podcast, where you could sit down, relax, and drink your coffee and smoke your cigarette and whatever you guys are doing, and sit down and just listen to what I have to say, or just watching, just watch my podcast, But this one right here, and I do have some notes. I see if I can read it. I did my when it comes to this podcast right here, because I want to explain it. I did my homework, and I wanted to look uh for more stuff that is about this podcast. I mean, excuse me, this topic, because I want to explain it. I want to explain it. When it comes to having a friends with benefit, you know, and I can tell you about it because I had my I can say I had my few victims. I think maybe you're thinking, Celso, what you call the victims? I will explain to you why. I will explain to you why. Um, about it later on in this podcast. But I did. I had multiple friends with benefits in the past. And when it comes to this topic, I say, okay, this topic. I can talk about it. I can explain it because I I do have some experience when it comes to this topic right here. And let me tell you, friends with benefit, we call it what do we call it? F FWB. It's called friends with benefit, or we call it the drama red zone. Drama red zone. That's what we call it too. And we're gonna explain why uh we call it drama friend zone. We're gonna talk about it, later on in this in our podcast in this episode. But I want you guys to. I'm going to say this, and whatever topic I talk about, I don't tell people what to do. I don't tell people what to do. You can do whatever you want to do with your life. But the reason I talk about it because I care about my listeners. I really do. I really do. I care about you guys. I do. And I just want you guys to be careful, including when it comes to this. I want you guys to really be careful because uh yeah, it's having a friend with benefit is something that is risky to do. It's something that is very risky to do. I always tell I did talk about this with some friends that has came to me for an advice when it comes to this right here because they know about that had a I do have an experience when it comes to this. And I always told them, I always ask them, this is, do you really want to do this? I always ask them if this is something that you really want to do. Having a friend with benefits, this is something that you really want to do. And they asked me the question, why you ask that question? Because I want you to think about it twice when it comes to this situation. Think about it twice. I want you to sit down and that this is something that you can't just go ahead and just go straight to it. It's something that you need to ask yourself, do I really want to get myself into this? Do I really want to make the decision? I need to think about this. Maybe let me think about it twice or 3 times or 4 times. Think about it before you get into this situation, before you get in this drama red zone, FWB, because it's a high risk. It's a high risk when you enter a zone where you might not going to return. You know, because it's hard. It's hard to return for this. It's really hard to return from this. And the reason why, because the 95%, somebody is going to cut feelings. Somebody will cut feelings. Somebody, either him or her, somebody is going to cut feelings. And not only is going to cut feelings, it's going to have their heart broken. Why? Because it's nothing serious. This is not a relationship. I want to, because a lot of people are confusing this with a relationship. No. When you have a friend with benefits, it is not a relationship. It is not serious. You're just having fun. You're just having fun. It's having sex with a friend. That's it. Because a lot of people are saying, a lot of people talk about this and say, oh, if I have a friend with benefit, this person cannot have multiple friends with benefits. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They can have more. Let's talk about this right now. Now that I'm talking about this, I'll look at my notes. Because now that I mentioned this, I've been hearing from a lot of people when they are doing this, that they say that their friend with benefit cannot have other friend with benefits. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Why? You are not in a relationship with this person. This is not your boyfriend. He's not your husband. She's not your boyfriend. She's not your wife. She's just your friend. It's only your friend that you having fun with. And I'm gonna see right here now. Hold on. Okay, right here. I wish I could show it, my notes, but I can't. But I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it because I want you guys to understand. When you are entering this zone, the FWB zone, there's a lot of things that you need to know and the consequences that this will bring to your life. Trust and belief is going to bring a lot of consequences. It might not happen right now, but it's going to happen in the long run. It will happen in the long run, and we're gonna talk about this. I want to explain to you guys. But right here it says, yes, it is Generally possible to have more than one friend with benefit. FWB. As FWB arrangements are more typically non-exclusive, casual, or focused on pressure without romantic commitment. We're gonna pause it right here. We're gonna pause it right here. When you have a friend with benefit, you cannot have romantic commitments. You can't. You cannot talk about the future. You cannot count feelings. Why this is not a relationship? I heard a lot of people saying, or maybe in the future we're gonna have something serious, or maybe in the future we're gonna be in a relationship. No, you cannot talk about the future when you have a friend with benefit. Why? It's nothing, there's nothing romantic going on. There's no feelings attached. There's no attachment. When it comes to having a friend with benefit, you cannot talk about the future because you guys are not in a relationship. He just or she just a friend that you having fun with. That's all it is. You cannot think about the future. Oh, maybe we're gonna get married. No, no, you can't. You can't talk about a future when you having fun with a friend. That's it. She's your friend. He's your friend that you having fun with. You cannot call her baby. You can't even say I love you to this person. You can't. You cannot tell this person what to do, or tell this person, oh, you cannot have other friend with benefits while you're with me. No, you cannot do that. There's no arrangements. There's no rules when it comes to this. You cannot even get jealous if this person, while he's done having fun with you cannot be jealous and say, oh, don't let me catch you with another woman. No, you can't, because it's not a relationship. You cannot even say, oh, he's cheating on me or she's cheating. No, he's not cheating on you or she's not cheating on you, because it is not a relationship. This is a friend zone, a friend that you having fun with. That's all it is. Let's keep reading. Success requires clear communication. Pause. There has to be a clear communication between you two. There has to be a clear communication. Communication. I'm going to use like I don't mention names, but I'm going to use an example with two of my friends. This happened couple years ago. That's while I was in Rochester. Um It happened in one of my friends' house. We had like like a little gathering. We was chilling and getting we was getting drunk and smoking and having a good time. It was a weekend and we just having a great time. And two of my friends, which I thought that this conversation right here, um, you can have this type of conversation when this is a lot of people. I think this should be a a private conversation when it comes to this right here. But everybody was drunk, everybody was high, and they probably was not thinking, and they was having this conversation where everybody was around, and um, a friend of mine, I guess she wanted to have fun with another friend of mine, and he had a clear communication with her. The first thing he did, he asked her if this is what she wanted to do. He asked her if this is what she really wanted to do. And she said, yeah, okay, this is what I want to do. I said, okay, this is what you want to do. There's going to be some rules, which, it was a clear communication between both of them. There's going to be some rules. And the first rule that you said, you cannot cap feelings. You cannot call feelings. None of us can call feelings with each other. And he said, because he said that he was married and he was like, I want you to let you know, he told her that he does has a wife. He's just doing this for fun. That none of them can cut feelings. So basically, it was not only rules, but it was a agreement between both of them. He told her, "You cannot get jealous if you do see me with my wife. You cannot get jealous if you see me talking to my wife." Which, like I said, and we talk about this, and he says right here, let me see where it is. That it requires a clear communication. And then he says honesty and setting boundaries with all partners regarding the nature of the relationship, as well prioritizing sexual health, key consideration include. What that means. While you having a clear communication with this person, while you setting boundaries with this person, while you setting the rules with this person, there's have to be a sexual health. Key considerations include. What include? I wanna tell you what does include. Transparency is a highly advised to disclose that you have other partners to avoid misunderstandings. Ensure everyone is comfortable and maintain safety. Safety multiple partners increase the need of for regular STI testing or consistent use of protection. While you haven't, and this is what I ask people that comes to me and say, that they want to have a firm with benefit. This is why I asked the question. This is really what you want to do. This is something that you need to think about before you can into this zone because it's called a red zone for a reason. A red zone for a reason. A red flag zone for a reason. Because it's not only can bring drama, but at the same time, while you are doing what you're doing with this partner, yes, you need to wear protection. At the same time, you need to get tested, which it means you need to get tested monthly. You need to get tested monthly. Oh, but Celso, I use the protection. Oh, that doesn't matter. You still got you need to get tested monthly. You need to go to a clinic and get tested. Not only you, but he does too. Not only you, but she does too. Which it means while you guys are doing whatever you guys are doing, having your fun every month, it is necessary for both of you guys check yourself, get tested, and while you get tested, you need to show the results to your partner every month. He needs to show it to you. You need to show it to her. You guys need to show your results of when you guys are doing this every month. You guys have to test yourself and show the results to each other. Because it says it right here. We're going to talk about the boundaries, man. It says right here, clearly define expectation to prevent emotional entanglement. Right, we're going to pause it right there. Remember when I was talking about, you guys cannot have emotions. You guys cannot. You cannot even say, "Oh, this is my woman. This is my man." No, you cannot say that. She's not yours. He's not yours. He is your nothing. She's not. She's your nothing. She just your friend that you having fun with. He's a friend that you just having fun with. You have to prevent emotional entanglement such as limiting day like behavior or emotional check-ins. It says it's right here. It's you're not dating this person. You cannot say, "Oh, I know I have one friend with benefit, and I cannot have another friend with benefit." No, yes, you can because there's no emotional connections between y'all two. There's no emotional connections. You're not dating this person. This person is not yours. Yes, you can have more than one friend with benefit. Yes, you can. Because he's just a friend that you having sex with. That's it. Let's keep reading. We're gonna talk about this right here. Potential complications. Potential complications. Hmm. Juggling multiple active FWB partners can lead to complication if it's not managed carefully, and it moves away from or it moves away from a simple casual agreement. There's something that you have to, be careful with because it can bring complications. It can be complications. It can bring drama if not managed carefully. And this is something while this is something that this had to be a clear communication with this right here. And you have to, there has to be agreements. There has to be rules while you're doing this, because if you don't manage this, there can be complications. There can be drama. One of you guys can go ahead and get emotional attached with this other person. Can get jealous. You know what I mean? And it can be problems. It really can. This is something that you really need to be careful with. Now, what we're gonna talk about, when I remember when I said that my two friends were into this zone and they was talking about it, in front of people. You can't do that. I think this is something that you want to keep in private. You cannot tell other people that you have a friend with benefit. No, you can't. You cannot even mention the person on the name of this person. You can't. Why? Because people talk. Once you tell one person that you have a friend with benefit, and you tell this person, "Oh yeah, this is his name, this is her name," you messed it up already, because now people are going to know that you have a friend with benefit. Now people are going to know who this person is, and you don't know what people is going to think about you. We're going to say why. Telling others about a friend with benefit, FWB, arrangement depends on your goal and comfort level. That keeping it in private is often advised to maintain clear boundaries and avoid gossip. Boom. I just said it. When you have it, this is why you need to have a clear communication with this person. You need to set boundaries with this person. This has to be boundaries, which this right here, you cannot tell other people, you cannot tell your friends, you cannot tell your family that you have a friend with benefit. You can, because there's going to be gossip. But like I said, a lot of people talk. You cannot even tell your best friend that you have a friend with benefit. This is something that you guys, between you two, you gotta keep privately, because it's going to be gossip. There will be gossip. There's going to be, complications. It's going to be drama. It's going to be problems. And a lot of people will talk about you. A lot of people are going to think the wrong way about you, because they're going to be like, "Oh, hold on. She's doing that? No, not her. He's doing that? No, what? Really?" There's going to be gossip. You can't not mention about this to no one. You cannot mention it to no one, because this has to be private between y'all two. You have to keep it private, because now you don't know. Let's say, for example, for example, Celso, we didn't have no communication. Well, it if it was not mentioned, while you telling your friends that you have a friend with benefit with this person. You don't know what this person is going to think about you. Maybe this person is not going to like it because maybe this person has a reputation. Maybe you don't care about your reputation, but maybe this person does. So now, while you're telling everyone, even at a workplace, which is not the right thing to do, you cannot even tell your co-workers about this. And if you having a friend with benefit with another co-worker, you cannot talk about it in your job place because he cannot only ruin his reputation or her reputation or your reputation at the same time. You can even lose your job. This is why you need to be careful. You cannot say to no one, not even to your mom, not even to your dad, not even to your sons, your daughter, your grandmother, your best friend. No one can know that you have a friend with benefit. Nobody. There's something that has to keep in private. You need to keep it in the dark. Yes, I get it. But Celso, what's in the dark will always come to light. Yeah, it might come to light in a year, probably 2 years, but you need to management and you need to try and fight hard to keep it in private. With the mission, which means that you need to make sure that you don't say nothing, and you need to make sure that your friend with benefit doesn't nothing. It needs to keep in quiet. It needs to be keeping quiet. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Career boundaries. Okay, hold on. We talk about the arrangement depends. Okay, it said depends on your goals and comfort level. So keeping it in private is often advised to maintain career boundaries and avoid gossip. Okay. While sharing with trusted friends can be acceptable in casual context, introducing them to family or close non-involved social circles can blur lines. I mean, I know I just said that you cannot tell nobody, but this is why there needs to be a clear communication boundaries because um it says while sharing with trusted friends, you need to have somebody that you can trust. But at the same time, even though you trust this person, you need to make sure that this person is trusted because even somebody that you trust, even though it says right here, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it telling others. I don't recommend it. Reasons to keep private. It keeps the relationship low pressure and prevents unwanted opinions or complications as FWB. Relationship often rely on strict, simple boundaries. We was talking about boundaries, and this is the reason why, because it brings gossip, it brings problems, it brings complications, and like I said, keep it in quiet. You need to keep it in private. Can ruin reputation, can ruin reputation, can ruin friendships. You can even lose your job for this right here. Reason to share. I don't know why I disagree with this right here. Even though I'm reading it, but I disagree. I don't think this is something that you need to share with nobody. I don't think so. I mean, if you want to, It's like, how can I explain this? If you want to share it, it's like signing a death certificate. It's like signing a death certificate, or a contract. How can I say this? I said it right. Why? Because while you sharing it to people, if it is somebody that you trust, you're setting yourself for self destruction. You're setting yourself for self destruction. You become a target for drama and complications. Once you open your mouth and say, "Oh, I have a friend with benefit," which is something that you shouldn't say to nobody, it can bring consequences. That's when you need to be careful with this right here. Let me see what else. Okay, it says reason to share. It may be necessary for safety, disclosing other partners, or for honest, casual communication among friends who know both parties. Even though it says this, like I said, I don't agree with it. I don't recommend nobody to share this with nobody. You gotta keep this in private. Keep it in private. Key consideration: if the goal of the FWB is to avoid emotional attachment, keeping a low profile ensures that rules are not violated. If you are considering telling others or telling someone, evaluate whether it brings drama or transparency. In many cases, it's better to keep the details between you and yours. I just said that. So this right here is telling you, okay, you want to tell people, you could do that. We're not going to tell you what to do, but we don't recommend that. We don't recommend. I mean, if this is something that you want to do, you need to be careful. This is something that you want to do, and you want to go ahead and tell people, okay, you can do that, do whatever you want to do, but at the same time, you need to be careful with this right here because this right here can bring drama. Even you could lose friends. You can even lose family members. This can ruin you. It will ruin you if you open your mouth and tell others that you have a friend with benefit. And I know a lot of people that are doing this, and I know a lot of people that I'm praying for them because I'm like, oh my God, what did you do? I know a lot of people that they even told me I got a friend with benefit. I'm thinking, what did you just do? You just mess it up. And I even told my friends, what did you just do? Oh, I told my friend, I said, what did you just do? Why did you do that? Maybe this person don't know, but no, like no, this is something I'm like, why? I was listening to somebody talking about this, and I'm thinking, why did you just do? Why are you telling people about this? I'm just like thinking and shaking my head. I'm like, oh God, you don't know what you just do. You don't know what you just do. Did you just really tell the people you got friend with benefit? No, oh man. I'm like, oh God, is she know if she knew what she just did? If he knew what she just did, Lord have mercy. No, don't tell nobody you got a friend with benefit. Don't share with nobody. I don't care if if people want to know, oh, if a friend tells you, oh, I want to know everything you do. No, don't tell your friend everything you do. No, you don't have to. You just stay quiet. Keep it low profile. Keep it. You know, that's the saying. Whatever happens in your house stays in your house. Whatever happens in your house stays in your house. And every time, you know, and I'm talking about it because I'm a podcaster, and I'm a podcaster, that's why I'm talking about it. I'm a podcaster, I can say it, I did, like I said, I did have some few, and every friend with my friend that I had, there was a communication, there was, agreements, there was. I even, to tell you the truth, I even made contract about this. I even did a contract and I made them sign. Okay, if we this is what you want to do, this is when we, this is the agreements we're gonna have. This is the rules we're gonna have. I got it in paper and I want you to sign it. Why? Because I'm just making sure that we making a deal that none of us is gonna talk about it. You cannot tell your friends. I cannot tell my friends. You cannot tell your family. I cannot tell my family. No, we cannot tell nobody. It's got to be, keep it low profile. Keep it low profile. Man, let's see what else. We're gonna talk about what not to do. Let me see. Okay, we're already talk about free conversations and not sharing it. We're already talk about, yes, you can have for more than the one friend with benefit. Now we're gonna talk about what not to do. What not to do when you are in this zone. And for some FWB, and we call it FWB, short for friends with benefits, relationships, you should withhold your expectations and feelings. You cannot expectate nothing from this. You cannot have feelings. You cannot talk about the future. You cannot even say, oh, maybe we are going to. No, not this. Nothing can happen while you have a friend with benefit. Nothing emotional can happen. Um, say for example, some people believe that you shouldn't get jealous. If you do, don't talk about it. Pet names are not allowed, nor is talking about a future relationship with your friends with benefit, partner, or anyone else. No cheating. I don't know what that means, no cheating, because it's not cheating. I think this is said you cannot even talk about cheating. So this is right here. You cannot even say talk about your pet. You cannot even this communication you cannot have it with your. They don't need to know nothing. You cannot even say, oh, I got a pet. Nothing. Or mention nothing about cheating because it's not a relationship. You're not dating this person. You can, you know, it's just a friend that you haven't found with. That's it. It's just a friend that you haven't found with. You cannot have no, not even talk about the future. You cannot even call this person babe or my man or my woman. No, you can't do that. It's just a friend that you have a friend, that you haven't found with. That's all. So I hope you're not having no expectation. I hope you're not having your hopes up. If you're having hopes, you in the trouble. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't even have high hopes. Oh, maybe in the future we're gonna. No, you cannot have that. No, no, he's just your friend. It's not a relationship, people. You're not in a relationship with this person. You're just having fun with this person, which means that this person can have fun with other people, and you can have fun with other people because it's nothing serious. It's nothing serious. And then what I'm going to say this right here, and we're going to finish this episode with this right here. And this is something that I want to explain. It says, yes, friends with benefit FWB relationship often have significant consequences, including the potential for one person to catch feelings, resulting in heartbreaking or receive. Let me see. Basically, it says that love can be involved. While they offer sexual low commitment or emotional benefits, they can also cause awkwardness, ruin the original friendship, and lead to complications like jealousy or physical distress. Potential consequences of FWB relationship. So, like I talked about it before, one person can catch feelings, can result to heartbreaking. What they offer sexual low commitment or emotional benefit. They can also cause awkwardness, and it can ruin your friend. It could ruin your friendship with this person. You could ruin your friendship with this person because now, while having, let's say that you guys were friends before you guys became friends with benefit. It can ruin your friendship with this person because now you just have sex with your friend, a person that you might saw as friend before. And I do understand. Okay, I do understand. But also, I was in a relationship, and then I didn't. I was not happy in the relationship, and I just want to have fun, and I just went, I a friend of mine, and we had this conversation, and now we having sex with each other, and da 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 da. Okay, but don't you understand that you might can, ruin your friendship with this person because now this person or you guys cannot look each other like you guys was looking each other before. That's why I don't recommend it. Doing this. This is something that you want to do. Go ahead and go for it. Going to be consequences. One of the consequences it says right here: ruin the original friendship and lead to complications like jealousy or physical distress. We're going to talk about potential consequences of FWB relationship. Talk about feelings. A common outcome is one partner developing deeper emotional feelings that are not shared, leading to heartbreak or confusion. We talked about that. It can lead to heartbreak. It can lead to confusion. It can lead to jealousy. That it should not happen while you having a fun with your friend. Um, and of friendship, like we talked about that. The relationship may result into losing the friend, with studies suggesting that nearly three quarters of excuse me, three quarters of FBW situations and or change from within 1 year. And yes, it changed. This can change in 1 year, where you don't even see this person as a friend no more because your friend is your friend. Your friendship is ruined. Um, can lead to heartbreak, emotional feelings, which it shouldn't happen. Let me see. Emotional distress. Individuals may experience guilt, jealousy, or one person starts seeking more commitment, significant stress can lead to that. Awkwardness. The dynamic can make future platonic interactions difficult if boundaries are not maintained. This is what, like I said, you need to have boundaries. You need to have, you know, be honest with this person. Have a clear, communication. Let me see. Complications in future dating. We're gonna talk about that. This can have complication in future datings. This is why I telling people don't say to nobody that you have a friend with benefit because you don't know if that person have feelings for you and maybe want to date you, maybe want to have something with you. And now while you're telling this person that has feelings for you that this might be the one for you. This might be that the one that destiny can put you with in the future, and maybe you can start dating with this person. But now that you told this person, I have a friend with benefit. Now this person don't want to be with you. No, people gonna look at you and say, hold on, what? I don't want this girl. No, I don't want to be with this girl. No, hold on. That's why I say don't tell nobody that you have a friend with benefit. Keep it in no profile. Don't tell nobody because you don't know if this person that you just told have feelings for you, wanted to be with you, and you messed it up. You messed it up for yourself because now this person, I say, you know what, man? Nah, I don't want this girl. I don't want this man. What? She's doing this? Nah, I'm going to look for somebody else. Yeah, I'm going to look for somebody else. And now you mess it up because now it can ruin your future of dating. It really can. It's like I say, keep it in quiet. Keep it in quiet. We're gonna talk about corporate complications in future dating. A past FWB situation can sometimes create jealousy or insecurity in new commitment relationship. It can bring jealousy. It can bring um insecurity in new commitments because let's say that, for example, you start doing what you're doing and you don't have you stop having fun with your friend with benefit. Now you enter in a relationship with someone new. Now you're gonna feel guilty. Now you're gonna be jealous because I said, damn, what if he has a friend with benefit? What if it can bring, like he says right here, it can bring create jealousy or insecurity in new commitment relationship. It can. So this is what I'm saying. I ask people, do you really want to do this? Because it brings consequences. It does bring consequences. In the future. Let me see. Now we're gonna talk about key considerations. So sex factors. When communication is clear and boundaries are set, friendships can be preserved, with some studies even showing a potential for queer bands. Temporary nature. FWB, which is friend with benefit agreements, are frequently temporary. Most Reddit user in I think Reddit is like it's an app that you ask questions, and people they come with answers and stuff like that. And they're talking about people that talked about this on Reddit. Uh, More likely to end than lead to a lasting commitment. relationship, only about 15%. It could happen. It could happen. Maybe you could end up in a relationship with the person, but it's a 50%. It's not sure. It's not sure. It's a 50%. It's not good. Now, it's not sure because you don't know if this person wants to be with you. You don't know if this person, want to have a relationship with you. Maybe you want to, but you don't know if the person wants to. So it's a 50%. Miscommunication, a lack of clear opening dialogue about rules often causes the most, according to Portnoy's findings in the Daily Nebraskan. So it could be a lack of communications. It could be a lack in rules after causes the most, according. So now that we did explain all of this, that I wanted to explain to you guys, about this because, like I said, I do have experience of this. I have multiple, friend with benefit before. It's just, I don't think something that you should do. But I'm not telling you what to do. It's my opinion. You could do whatever you want to do with your life. When we just talked about this because I do care about my listeners. I really do, and it just now that I explain it to you guys about this. This is something that you got to think twice. Not telling you what to do, but think it twice. Be careful while doing this. Uh, so I hope that I was helpful with this. I hope that I was clear enough as I try with this topic right here. Topic was friend with benefit, and you guys was okay. This is the episode of Sensota Podcast. You guys was in Sensota Podcast with your favorite podcaster, so Luis Santiago Jr. I want you guys to have a blessed night. I want you guys to nice end of the weekend rest. And I will see you guys into the next episode of Celso Podcast. Love you. Have a blessed night. And Celso out.